I don't know where all these noises are coming from, but my toast popped and then it's a noise outside. Good morning, everyone. So today is Saturday morning and it's very cold. Actually, I'm going to put a jumper on because it's freezing. Hello, FTM Toastastic. Good morning. Today's Saturday and this week's topic is top surgery scars. And I'm currently making breakfast because I'm very hungry, which is why I'm in the kitchen. So yeah, quick question, do you guys butter your toast before you put on Nutella, or is that just me? General update on me, I suppose. My birthday's on Monday, so yeah, I'm turning 19, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited about being 19, I'm kind of scared though. It's not really a big birthday because in Australia the legal age is 18, so it's not like important really, 19. But hey, last year of being a teenager, that's pretty cool. My top surgery is 10 days after my 19th birthday, so my top surgery is in 12 days. And next week I'm going up skiing, so yeah, I don't know if you'll see me skiing because I think I might save that for like one of the topics coming up because we're talking about going like outdoorsy stuff. I'm putting on the jumper and it's saying it's really cold, but it's probably like the same temperature as like a Canadian summer. Not even kidding, it's not even that cold. But Australians are wusses when it comes to winter because summer gets so freaking hot, and so yeah, we can't really handle the cold. Or at least I can't handle the cold. Put me outside when it's like 45, 47 degrees Celsius and I'm fine. Put me outside when it's like 5, I'm like, nope. Recently on Tumblr, I've seen this post by people saying that trans people shouldn't be showing their scars so much because it outs trans people. Like people who are openly out as trans, showing their scars is in some way meaning that it's going to be harder for stealth people to stay stealth. I kind of see it from both ways because I'm stealth myself, and the scars honestly were one of the reasons why I didn't want to have double incision, because I was worried about the scars, not because it was going to out me as such, but I didn't really feel like I wanted to explain it. I suppose for stealth people who are worried about their scars outing them as trans, know that there are other procedures that result in those scars. It doesn't necessarily mean you're trans. Scars happen for like heaps of reasons, you know? You could have been in a car crash, you could have been in like anything. And there's no one's place to ask you about these scars. It's kind of douchebaggy to ask about it, you know? You shouldn't really ask about why people's bodies look the way they do. And like, I understand people do it. And people are gonna see trans men in the media who are more popular now, like for example, Aiden Dowding, and back ages ago with like the whole media circus of like the pregnant man when he had his top surgery scars as well. And I think like Emery was like accused of like he shouldn't have been shirtless on like when he did that video with Ariel. It's like the majority cis audience know what trans scars look like, and it's like, yeah, okay, but why is it that these people aren't allowed to show their scars, you know? These people have every right to, just as much as you have every right to. And if you feel uncomfortable with showing your scars because you think it's going to out you as trans, then that's really, really shitty. But to be completely honest, with more trans people in the media, as a whole, the community is better. And that sounds so selfish. And this is coming from a stealth person, so I really don't want to get shit for this. And I don't mean it to come across in a bad way. But by having trans men in the media and having some sort of representation, like having Aiden out there as on the top of Men's Health magazine, that's so good for the trans community, and it just shows that we're just men. And if that means that there are going to be less trans people being killed or less trans people killing themselves because it's more socially accepted, then I'd rather that, and I'd rather, even if I did have double incision, risk me being 100% stealth, even though like just by having scars doesn't out you as trans. I would rather that than have other people in the community being killed or being misunderstood or being shunned, you know? We're not gonna have progress unless we have representation. And so it's kind of a payoff. Yes, with more representation, there's more chance of us being clocked. You shouldn't have to sacrifice you being stealth for them, but you don't have to. You can't have good representation without exposure. That's just how it is. In some places, being trans can get you killed, you know, still, and that's awful, and we're not going to get to a place where that's not a thing unless there's representation, unless there's understanding, unless there's education. And we can't do that without having trans people put under the spotlight. By putting them under the spotlight, yes, that's going to expose what top surgery scars look like, but how else are we going to progress, you know? How else are we going to progress if we're still not visible? if we're invisible, we're not going to get rights. No one's going to care about us. I think that's what we need to think about, because we can't get to that place where it's 100% acceptable unless there is exposure to it, and unless there is people who understand, and people aren't going to understand if they don't know it exists. The media shouldn't be focusing on trans bodies, it should be focusing on trans people, because we are people and it matters. But unfortunately, that's just how the media works, and that's how society works, and it sucks, but it's just something we're going to have to deal with. You shouldn't make people feel ashamed for being proud of their scars, because people are allowed to feel proud of their scars. You know, it's a big deal getting top surgery. It's a big deal finally feeling free, and after top surgery, I am not wearing shirts unless I absolutely have to. Just saying. I understand where these people are coming from, because like being stealth is so important to me. But at the same time, I can't have everything focused around me and my life, because there are other people that this impacts, you know? And in general, having Aiden on the cover of Trans Magazine is so good for the community. Just such good representation for the trans male community, and we need more of that. We need people to see him and go, you know what, like, trans men are just men, you know, and he's just a man, you know? Trans people aren't necessarily unattractive, and trans people aren't all these things that people claim we are to be. And people aren't gonna have that realization unless they see trans people who break those stereotypes that they have in their head. And yes, that means that our scars are gonna be visible, or that people are gonna see, oh, those scars. But trust me, if someone sees you in the street, they're not gonna think, that guy has top surgery scars. They're gonna think, oh, that guy's got scars. Most of the time. You can't get angry and bitter about people who are showing their scars and who are helping the community get more like exposure and representation, because that's good for the community. And you can't be angry about that, because it means that it's harder for you to be self. Because in general, it's going to do so much for the trans community, and it's going to do so much for you too. I'd rather me personally be uncomfortable with people possibly questioning if I was trans over trans people being killed, trans people being isolated, and trans people being rejected, you know? But yeah, okay, goodbye. I'm gonna finish breakfast now. I will see you next week. Last video is an 18-year-old. Catch you guys, bye.